Hey, how you doing, everybody? That's probably a bit of a daft question, really, if you're watching this video. Yeah, so this is the first video that I'm doing. It's one of many where I'm going to be going over basically what my gambling life was like, and how it very nearly destroyed me, and what my life's like today. I've noticed over, well, quite a lengthy period of time that YouTube's awash with gambling videos and things like that, and really promoting it as some sort of get rich quick, easy, enjoyable, uh, yeah, pastime. No, I'm not saying it's not it for many people. People can get away with having the odd punt here and there, but for some, it can spell absolute disaster. And the thing is, you're never going to know whether you're one of those people that it's going to end off in disaster. You never know whether you're going to end off like that until you start gambling. So it's a dodgy state of affairs to be in, and I mean, I've noticed a lot as well about a lot of people coming online and discussing their history and their experience of chronic gambling. And to be honest, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking to see people's lives being destroyed. And I know from my own personal experience the real lack of help that's available to support and to help people who are really been battered by a compulsion that's beyond their control. I mean, this is it. A lot of people think, when you think of compulsive gambling and when you think of chronic gambling, it's like people tend to think, well, just stop, just don't do it. I mean, I don't mean to be controversial here, but I mean, come on. Do you not think compulsive and problem gamblers have thought about just not doing it for a long time? The problem is they can't just stop not doing it. You know what I mean? They can't stop doing it, which is why it's destroying and wrecking so many lives once that line's been crossed. Yeah, I mean it. I feel incredibly grateful, incredibly privileged, incredibly fortunate to be in the position where I am today, where I can look back on that time and it's still to this day it hurts, man. The pain, the misery, the isolation, the just absolute, forgive my language, head fuck of a time that was really trying anything and everything I could possibly think of and imagine just to not gamble. I knew I couldn't gamble, but I couldn't not gamble. That was my problem. I knew I couldn't gamble, but I couldn't not do it. And it had my head twisted beyond anything that I've ever gone through in my entire life. It was the most brutal one. Well, one of the most brutal experiences that I've ever had to face, and the most isolating and lonely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did experience a lot of highs with gambling. I mean, that rush when you win. I mean, I've actually watched a lot of documentaries, and they compare that the brain functioning when a gambler wins. They compared the brain function, and it's similar to the brain activity of somebody who takes crack cocaine. So is it any wonder that when people do become addicted to gambling, that they find it extremely difficult to stop? I mean, there's a whole host of help available for alcoholics, for addicts, rightfully so. But with gambling, there's very very little help available, and believe you me, I looked for it. I searched high and low, trying. I'm gonna smoke, but come on, you're among friends now. I mean, I searched high and low, but could I find anything that yeah, it was awful. You think that nobody can possibly understand, and it's right. Nobody can understand it, because all the people who aren't all people who aren't addicted to gambling or compulsive gamblers, they're pulling their hair out trying to figure out why. They think that you just need to don't do it. Just don't do it. And I used to say to myself, just don't do it, Mark. And it's like, it's not as easy as that. And if you're watching this video and you're still here now, you understand that it's not like that. I mean, I went through many horrors, as a lot of people do. I'm not saying my story's worse than anybody else's, because pain is pain and misery and desperation and you know, destruction. Come on, when you experience that, you experience it. I mean, it's you can't say that oh, you know what I mean, this person's had it worse than that, or that person's had it worse than that. If you're a gambling addict, you are in pain big time, and you are bang in trouble. You know, and but there is a way out. There is a way out, because there's many people who've managed to find that way out. Yeah, it's awful when you live in a double that double life, and you're just feeling so horrific that suicide's constantly on your mind. You know, you go to work if you've still got a job, and you know, work gives a little bit of respite because it allows you to have a set period of time away from all that nonsense going on in your head, but you still feel separate from everybody else. That feeling of being of separation, yeah, like being inside a bubble. You can see the world on the outside, you can see all friends and family on the outside of the bubble, but there's a barrier there between you and them, and that's what it feels like. Completely isolated, completely alone, and hopeless. It does feel hopeless. And again, I'm not saying this to try and make anybody feel more depressed than they already do. I'm saying this because it's like the feelings that we feel are real. The experiences that we have are real. And somebody who's not gone through it, trying to identify with somebody who is in the middle of it will struggle. And likewise, the person who's in the middle of it, trying to identify with somebody who's never been through it, it's impossible. It's impossible to understand how it feels like unless you've been through it yourself. And that's the first thing, I think. That's kind of the first point in recognizing that you're not alone. Because you feel stupid, you feel like an idiot, you feel this, that, and the other. It's like, why the fuck am I doing this? There is no reason, because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and that's the insanity of it. Why would you keep doing? Why would you keep? If you hit your head with a hammer, hit your head with a hammer, and it hurt, and you had a lump and you had a gash in your head. If you did that once, you would think, oh, that was pretty painful. I don't want to do that again. But with gambling, you just keep doing it. Keep doing it. You know, you keep doing it. That's like the analogy of it. An analogy of it. It's crazy. It is crazy. It's an illness. It's not a lack of willpower. It's not a lack of morals. It's not about greed. It's a illness that's in here. And it's bloody awful. But you can get over it. I mean, I'm probably, this is just an opening video just to talk a little bit about experiences and stuff like that. But what I'm going to do is just do a video every now and again, and if anybody finds this helpful, great, because that's what it's there for. Because I remember trying to find people to identify with me, or just trying to find somebody who could understand, because nobody ever did understand, because I didn't understand. You know, that's how crazy it was. I didn't understand what was wrong with me, and nobody else did. And I'm trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and so was everybody else. It's like scratching your head. It's just baffling, man. Absolutely baffled. Yeah. And I see a lot of videos on YouTube of people going through it. So people who, men, women, young people, older people, middle-aged people. It holds no prisoners, man. It holds no prisoners. I'm not anti-gambling. If people want to gamble, that's their business. You know, I'm not like, oh, they should ban gambling. They should. I mean, there definitely needs to be more health. There definitely needs to be health warnings put on it. You know, because it can develop into a serious degenerative illness. You know. But anyway, I'm going to leave this video here. I've been talking for about 14 minutes. And I know it's hard to concentrate on video within this age of TikTok on videos longer than 30 seconds. So if you've stuck around this far, thank you. I hope what I've said has given you a little bit of a idea of where I'm going from. And I'll be back soon with another video. Alright, take care.